Hi everybody, my name is Catherine Magnoli and this is my first year in taking part in the 10 Days of Connection, and it's super exciting. I've heard so many wonderful things about it and I'm just truly honored to be a part of it. So before I begin my storytelling, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I have been an author of children's books for the past decade, and it's probably the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life. I've always loved writing, and to be able to have this be a way that I advocate and teach children about inclusion is more than I ever dreamed of. So I want to begin sharing my very first story that I published called The Adventures of Catgirl. Now, I don't want to give too much away about her, but she's very special. That's all I will say. "Bye, Mom," a little girl named Catherine yelled as she wheeled down the sidewalk. She was on her way to her first day at a new school with her brother Scott. Catherine was so excited to make new friends. She smiled at everyone. When she entered the classroom, she could hear the other kids whisper. They stopped when Mr. Miller, their teacher, walked in. "Good morning, class," Mr. Miller said. "Good morning, Mr. Miller," the class responded. "Kids, meet our new student. Her name is Catherine Mataloni. You are all probably wondering why Catherine is in a wheelchair, so you may ask her something you are curious about." Now, usually I ask the kids to tell me what they're curious about me at this point, but since there's no kids around, let's see what the kids in the story are curious about. "Can you walk at all?" Jenny asked. "Yes, with crutches," Catherine responded, smiling. "Do you feel pain?" Jill said, concerned. "No, I feel great," she answered with an even bigger smile. "I got one. Did it hurt when you fell?" Timmy said, laughing. "Timmy, that's not nice. One more comment and you'll be in time out," Mr. Miller said firmly. "Now, if that will be all of the questions, we can start adding. 3 plus 3 equals what?" Catherine's hand shot up. 3 plus 3 is... She paused when she heard Timmy whisper to Jack, "There's no way she'll know. Her legs don't work, so her brain can't either." Then I usually ask the kids if that's nice, and they all say no. Then I say, "Well, let's see if he gets nicer." "That's enough, Timmy. Now, I warned you once. Go to the corner and don't move a muscle until I say so." "The answer is 6, Catherine continued. "Very good, Catherine," Mr. Miller said. "Okay, class dismissed. Enjoy your afternoon, stay safe, and do your homework." When their first day of school was over, Catherine and her brother Scott were both in a rush to go home and tell their parents all about their day. Catherine wheeled so fast, she didn't even see a big rain puddle right in front of her. Water splashed everywhere, shaking her chair and sending it flying down the sidewalk. "Catherine, where are you going?" Scott yelled. "I don't know," Catherine yelled back. Where do you guys think they're going? We'll see. When she came to a stop, she saw Timmy sitting outside his house crying. Now, just to backtrack, Timmy was the bully, so we don't know why he's crying, but we shall see. "What's wrong, Timmy?" Catherine said, concerned. "Nothing you could help me with," he said rudely. "Why don't you try me? You never know. Maybe I can help," she responded. He pointed up to the top of the tree where a cat was sitting, purring. "See, I told you couldn't help." Do you think she'll be able to get the cat from the tree? Let's see. Then Catherine remembered a small button on her wheelchair's armrest. She had a feeling it would help her solve this hard problem. She was right. I wonder what will happen when she presses that button. In a split second, her chair flew into the air. She grabbed the kitten and handed it to Timmy. He jumped up, hugging the kitten and kissing its head. "Thank you so much," the little boy said happily. "You're welcome," Catherine smiled. "I'm sorry about before," Timmy said shyly. "It's okay," Catherine said. See, this is a teachable moment because he realized that he was wrong for judging her, and he apologized. That is a very good lesson. When Timmy was wheeling Catherine home, they were stopped by their classmates. "Hey, you two, we weren't expecting to see you together," they said, shocked. "Yeah, well, things changed," Timmy and Catherine laughed. "You guys will not believe the awesome thing that Catherine just did," Timmy said excitedly. What? Tell us," they all screamed. "My cat was stuck in the tree, and she floated in the air and got him down for me," Timmy said. "Yeah, right. That didn't happen," they said, not believing a word of the story. At that moment, Catherine felt her chair shake again. "Excuse me, guys, but I must be on my way," she said, then flew down the sidewalk. "Wow, look at her go," Jill said. "See, I told you she's a superhero," Timmy said, grinning. "She's like Superman," Billy said. "No, she's better than Superman. She's Catgirl," Timmy said, as he watched his new friend fly away. Hope you have enjoyed the adventures of Catgirl. More adventures to come. And there actually are 3 more published Catgirl adventures that I wish we had time for, but I actually want to introduce you to another character that I write about. His name is Pete the Private Eye. Now, Pete the Private Eye is a chapter book, so I'm only going to be able to read the first chapter to you guys. So, let's get to it. Pete the Private Eye and the Case of the Stolen Lunchbox. "Knock, knock. Pete, sweetie, it's time to get up. You need to get ready for school," Pete's mom said. She opened the door slightly and noticed her son was still lying fast asleep in bed. Pete opened one eye and searched for his glasses. He put them on and looked at his mom. He smiled and exclaimed, "Okay, Mommy, thank you. I'm awake now." When Pete was done getting ready for school, he grabbed his lunchbox and cane, then made his way to the bus stop. So, yes, in case you can't tell, Pete is actually blind, and he is a blind detective. So let's see how he does it. He slowly got on the bus, and as he walked through the aisle, he heard his friends Rob and Eric talking. He sat down next to them, placing his lunchbox on his lap. When they arrived at school, Pete, Rob, and Eric all walked to class together, talking about what game they wanted to play during recess. When they entered the classroom, they took their seats next to one another, and their teacher, Mrs. Flynn, said she had a special announcement. "Kids, today is a very special day because it is Cherry Hilltop Elementary School's annual picnic day. Gather your things and let's all make a nice line by the door so we can head outside." All the children cheered as they grabbed their book bags and lunchboxes and ran out of the door. When they reached outside, Pete and his friends placed their book bags and lunchboxes on the grass and headed over to the swing set. They were pretending to be on rocket ships and pumped their legs quickly in order to reach the top. At that moment, across the field, a chubby squirrel came scurrying down, next to the grassy spot where the 3 friends had put their things. The squirrel was in search of the peanut butter sandwich he smelled all the way from the top of the tree. When he finally found it, he ran away with the lunchbox, not to be seen again. Soon after the squirrel had disappeared, the boys returned to the spot where they had put their books and lunches. Unfortunately, to Rob's surprise, his lunchbox was gone. "Hey guys, look! Someone stole my lunchbox!" Rob shouted out in shock as he pointed to the ground next to his book bag. "What did you have in it?" Pete asked curiously. "A peanut butter sandwich, a juice box, apple slices, and some carrot sticks. Why?" Rob replied. Pete smiled and said, "I think this is a job for Pete the Private Eye," and pulled out his detective hat from his book bag. They all laughed and quickly began searching for the missing lunchbox. Pete, I have a question, Eric said with a serious tone. What's up? Pete said, concerned. How are you planning to find this lunchbox? Isn't it kind of hard for you to see? Eric replied. Don't worry, I have a plan, Pete replied as he chuckled. Really? What is it? I'm starving, Rob said while rubbing his stomach. I can't tell you, it's a secret, Pete said. But don't worry, we'll find your lunchbox. The three boys searched all around the field and playground. After an hour, they stopped for a rest, and Rob complained, It's no use. Someone stole my lunchbox. I bet it was that bully Max, Eric said angrily. Pete encouraged the group by stating, Come on, guys, we can't give up. We'll find it. And as he was walking around the tree, he heard a soft beep that only his heightened sense of hearing could detect. At that exact moment, an acorn hit him on the head. He laughed and said, Hey, Rob, I found your lunchbox and, I found your sandwich. You did? Where is it? Rob eagerly inquired. Yeah, but I don't think you'll want to eat it anymore, Pete said, laughing. Why? Rob asked in a confused tone. Pete pointed up to the branch above where he heard a squirrel nibbling on Rob's sandwich. Ew, gross! I don't want it now, Rob stated with a disgusted look on his face. Well, I'm still going to get it because he also has your lunchbox, Pete pointed behind the squirrel, who had not yet touched the carrot sticks and apple slices. How on earth are you going to get it? Eric and Rob asked in unison. You'll see, Pete replied as he swung the hook of his cane around the branch, then pulled himself up, frightening the squirrel who scurried up the tree. The squirrel left in such a frantic frenzy that he abandoned the sandwich, the lunchbox, and all that remained from the stolen lunch. Pete carefully grabbed the food and slowly brought himself back down to the ground. The boys took one look at the half-eaten sandwich and laughed as they threw it away. They shared the healthy snack of apple slices and carrot sticks. Shortly after, they heard the bell ring and all three boys gathered their belongings. Pete jokingly reminded Eric not to forget his lunchbox. Then they all headed to the bus, laughing and discussing their squirrel lunchtime adventure. And those are the very first two stories of The Adventures of Catgirl and Pete the Private Eye. And I hope during this 10 days of connection, during the COVID-19 pandemic, I was able to give you some joy and share my life work with you and hopefully bring you some inclusion. Have a wonderful day. Bye.